what is that like being the drummer in the big band and really the band leader?
Well, a big band drummer has the most, I mean, it's more noticeable than probably in any other genre of music. You could take 14 musicians, Dave, and take 14 different drummers. Play the same music, okay, and the drummer's going to pick his own equipment. He's going to have his own choice of drums and cymbals and this and that and everything else, okay, because he has his own sound or style, all right? And what I'm saying is that the band will sound different. Every drummer will make that band sound different. That's how important it is. You know, like in smaller groups or whatever, rock, pop or whatever, it's, you know, if you're playing time and you're doing your thing, that's fine and dandy. Really, it's, you know, and the band leader, drummers just naturally seem to be better band leaders because they're the motivator. It's like, you know, they're the locomotive. They're the ones that, you know, they're making this ride happen. You know, we used to say, I'm gonna say, how do you put it? You know, like if you got a really bad drummer, well, then, you know, you got a bad band. But if you got a really good drummer, you got a, you know, I mean, the drummer makes the band.
That's right.
It really does. I mean, you know.
Yeah. You know, when
it's more noticeable. You know, it's more prominent in a big band situation.
Sure.
Simply because it has to be.
Right. And it's very expressive, improvisational at times as well, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You know, you're playing a set orchestration, okay? Yeah. But there are spots that are open to improvisation by other musicians.
Right.
You know, so it's you know.
That's the really beautiful thing, right?
Yeah, it really is. You know, I mean, anybody that plays in a big band, you know, I can remember the very first time I played. It was in Berkeley. I was in Boston, and I played in an ensemble. And the very first tune I played was something that Buddy Rich recorded. It was a rock and roll thing called Whack Whack. I don't know if you remember the tune or not. Whack Whack. Whack Whack. W-A-C-K, yeah. It went like that. Whack Whack. I'm trying to think. There was a piano player that made a Ramsey. I think it was Ramsey Lewis. Do you remember Ramsey Lewis, the piano player?
I do not.
Okay, a black piano player. He had like a trio.
Interesting.
And he had a hit record with it. And they made like a big band arrangement out of it. And it was the first time that I played with a big band. And I'll tell you, you can play along with records and you can practice all you want.
Right.
But until you really do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because, I'm the one that's keeping time. And like if I slow down and that's the other thing too, because as fabulous as some musicians are with sight reading, when you're reading something, you have a tendency to want to kind of slow down a little bit. Sure. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. And one of the things that made Buddy as great as he was the fact that he played on top of the beat. Like he was like always pushing, motivating, you know. Yeah. Some people sometimes annoyingly where they say, well, he sped up or whatever, but I mean, that's being you know, you're just being nitpicky. Sure. But yeah, I mean, you don't want to slow down the band. And that's the other thing. I see a lot of kids today that are in colleges or whatever, and they're playing along with the band. That's not what the drummer does in the band. Yeah. The band, you motivate, you listen, you try to cover up what's bad and enhance what's good. Right. You know, you want the cats in the band to play their ass off. Period.
Exactly.